Welcome. So happy to be here. Very excited. So I am Sarah West Love and welcome. Yeah, goodness. Now what? So many things I wanted to share with you. I have two cameras going like usual for YouTube and Insta. My YouTube channel is Sarah West Love, and the link is in my bio. So check that out, please. And also check out the other IGTVs that are, under the IGTV section. And I'm a little distracted because my other camera is a little funny. It's not in an ideal position. Wonder if I can get it into an ideal position. What do you think? Wouldn't that be cool? Let's try it. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Thanks for bearing with me. Logistics. It's a little better. I'm gonna work on it a little more. Right? Kind of like life, right? We work, tweak, a little tweak here, a little tweak there. Yeah. That's a little better. So I'll look between both the screens, both of the lenses. A little different height. That's part of the problem. Is it worth trying to figure it out? Anyway, okay, we're just gonna go at it. So thanks for bearing with that. Life, right? Life stuff. Adjustments. That is, it's living and breathing in each moment. That's life. Life is, we can plan, dream, connive, all day long, all night long, and we can fight or we can surrender. We can manage, we can manipulate, we can go with the flow. We can breathe. Breathe. Right? That whatever we're doing in the moment is absolutely a reflection of what's going on in here and here. And it's a reflection of our past and how we're coping. A lot of life in this so-called modern existence is what I would call coping. Coping with past, whether it's the immediate past, this last week, last month, last year, childhood, parents' memories, grandparents' memories, what we're told, what we experience, how we interpret, how we react, and how we hold on to what we interpret. Adjustments again. So yeah, see, adjustments. It's like we make a decision and life responds, or life is, and then we respond, and that that dance, that intermingling, that rapport, that give and take, that flow, you know. There's the water in the riverbed, and then there's gravity, and there's wind, and there's this the planet spinning, you know, for those of us who believe the planet is round. and so everything is a response. There's an inner response to all of our layers of our being. There's an inner life within us with 8 billion, not 8 billion, but I don't know how many billions, but there's billions of viruses and bacteria floating around, doing their thing, living in the cosmos that is us, that is our body. We are made up of beyond our mind number of creatures, entities, moving things in us that actually are absolutely 1,000,000,000% essential to our existence. So, you know, I don't know how many of you know, but, you know, learn a little bit about your body, what it's made of. Some of you might know something about something called CRISPR, which is the technology of using a virus to move, you know, basically gene splicing and gene alteration. And we'll go into that, but you can look it up. But basically, we exist, this body that is mine, that is yours, that is ours, this humanity, this all things, plants, animals, they all have viruses in them. I'm sure maybe something doesn't, but it's a pretty prolific thing, viruses, bacteria, and viruses help to make us. I call viruses the little filing cabinet people, beings, creatures, entities, squigglies, shapes, odd shapes, because they literally moved DNA around so that we could mutate and become what we are. So to make our bodies our enemy is equivalent to the insanity of, you know, whatever superstition that we don't believe anymore, that's so clearly a superstition from, you know, 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. People believed the world was flat. You know, for those of us who don't think it is, you know. And they killed, the Roman Catholic Church killed Galileo for knowing that it wasn't. So just remember that, you know. And they knew that it wasn't, but they didn't want people to know that it wasn't flat. It didn't serve their agenda of keeping people so, you know, who are we? Why are we here? Are you here to just accumulate? To just exist? To just do what you see on television that's done, on films. Like, what is inside of your soul? What's inside of you? What is your heart? What is your soul telling you? Do you listen? Do you listen to the fabric of your being? Fabric of your soul, of your spirit? What is running you? You know? What is the fuel of your being? What is the fuel of your heart? What is the fuel of your soul, of your spirit, of your body? Who has authority over your body, over your mind, over your heart, over your soul, your spirit? To plug this in. Yeah, so second. Physical things. Now I have to figure out how to get it to stand up. Now it's got the little cable guy. The cable guy. Let's see if I can make it work. Probably be a little crooked. Yeah, this is just logistics again. Don't have a tripod for it. So, yeah. So yeah, this is about logistics, I guess. Oh, I have the bottle in the way. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Don't have all the tools that are useful. So we just do what we have. We work with what we have. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So as I'm doing this, you know, just breathe. Woo! Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna work, but hi, welcome. Well, I'm not sure it's gonna work. Yeah. It's gonna go. Well, maybe not. Oh, darn. Well, maybe I can hold it. Maybe I'll just hold it. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hold it. Right? Okay. I'm back. So where was I? Where were we? You know, and that's kind of life, right? Just like that. You know, for those of you who withstood all of that, you know, we live in this world where I should have thought of that already. Just, you know, not worrying about, just hold it, you know. I prefer not to hold the phone, but you know, we live in this, our brains are losing the ability to give attention. And to some people, some of us sometimes too much, where, you know, do you remember people used to sit on the porch and sit in rocking chairs? And for hours, you know, every afternoon, you know, and take breaks and visit with one another. And there'd be children and people, passerbyers. People used to wave and come and talk and chat and have some tea, some juice, some apples. You know, what happened to that? Do you have that? Maybe you have that. Well, of course, you know. We're talking, could be a bygone era permanently with what's happening. What is happening? Do you know what's happening? What do you think's happening? What does your soul tell you? What does your gut tell you, your instinct, your heart, your higher mind? What are you going to do about it? Do you care about yourself? Do you care about others? Do you care? You know, we are deeply conditioned to not stand up. You know? And the people that, you know, and there's two types of people that do stand up, you know? The activists and the people with so much heart and soul. You know, the people that are still connected to their free spirit. You know? So that's true. And then you have people that are different kind of people. And they're the people that fight only for themselves and to oppress, basically to terrorize, basically, you know, to control people rather than, you know, those are broken people, very broken, their hearts are broken, their minds are broken, bodies are broken, their soul is disconnected from their actions. They're driven by pain, not a pain that informs their heart to make things loving, but a pain that informs their drive to control, because they're just driven to control, to avoid pain, their unhealed pain. So, you know, and all of us have unhealed pain, most of us, unless you're an enlightened being, whoever you consider enlightened. You know, where's mother? Where's your mother? What is your relationship with your mother? The mother within, your own mothering, how you mother yourself. Do you have a relationship with your mother, whether she's here or not here anymore? Who are you bonded with? What are you connected to your heart? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean to be connected to your heart? You know, what's going on now is always been going on. I don't think it's always been going on everywhere, because I think there have been communities and peoples who lived to actually care for one another and respect one another and to heal, cultures that knew how to confront disagreements and process, communicate, so that love could be the thriving force, element, presence. Without love, everything is destroyed. It takes wisdom, and it takes also willingness. If you just have one person willing and other person or other people unwilling, it's broken. You can't move forward. And it takes a certain level of strength to be willing to sit and have, conflict resolutions within yourself and others. And we have just a profoundly sick society that trains people from the get-go, and now younger and younger and younger, to detach and sublimate one's pain, and therefore detach from the soul. It's a split. And then you have adults that have been doing that since they're little. And then you have people that move into leadership to control people. And then you've got all the minions that are just blinded, that may not be driven like a leader, a sociopathic, psychopathic leader. It's not a leader. Because so many people are conditioned to bear, to put up with, trained to be silent, trained to acquiesce, trained to be obedient, trained to, everything teaches us that in school, religion. Where do you learn to be free, my friend? Where? Who was encouraged to just be free and be yourself and not dominate other people in order to achieve your own happiness? How many people were trained to acquiesce and be of service and be subservient to others or be the one who's the dominator and demands others to be subservient to. And then, of course, the dominator usually always has somebody on top that they are looking towards to get some sort of admiration and some sort of accolade and some sort of approval. Without self-approval, we are just a mess. We are going to create a lot of problems because we're going to seek it outside of ourselves, which, you know, it's a this whole thing, we have just, it's so deeply ingrained in our, what we call social fabric, to be insecure. We are brainwashable beings. Every commercial, every film, every TV show, every newspaper, every magazine, every photograph, everything we say is tweaked. It's tweaked to create a result of an insecure person. Like, I'm tweaking this stuff here. It's tweaked. And what's difficult, you may realize that now. You're like, oh yeah, I know that now. So I'm not going to watch television. I'm not going to watch movies. And be aware of what you read. You know, get a journal. Write all your beliefs down. Look at them. Take time. You know? Take this time, you know? People were being paid to promote binge watching of films and television shows. And then, of course, people didn't have to be paid to promote that. They're just doing it because, you know, there's some kind of high that people get from connecting with what people think of as social norms, or but people are also paid to put stuff out there to make you feel like you're part of the crowd, part of the crew, part of the cool people, part of the cool society. Oh, let's talk about this film and this story. Well, of course, we are stories and we love stories. But what is the story telling you? And what is being slipped in the story? The problem is where can you get a story that's pure and not adulterated? I always forget this word, subliminal advertising, subliminal messages. It's in everything. Everything that's made, you know, some subliminal messages might be positive, you know, a candle and a photograph. Well, that could be a positive thing, peacefulness and life and, you know, the light in the dark and just lovely things. So, but there's a lot of, and children's shows and all these apps that you might be giving your children to occupy themselves with. What about some wooden blocks and some shapes? And it reminds me of, you know, people I follow that take care of cats, and they're foster cats, and they save cats' lives, and they do trap, neuter, matern, and just amazing work saving lives of kittens and helping, stop the population of cats and them dying on the streets and just horrible stuff, and caring for feral cats and things. And they always say, you buy some cute little toy. Of course, it's made of plastic and is just garbage. It's just sad. That's a whole nother topic to be aware of the legacy. If you have children, grandchildren, if you want to have children, if you want to live your own life, if you just care about the next generations. Plastic, the fossil fuel industry, is just selling whatever its byproducts are. It's in everything. We have to create healthy alternatives. They make a sort of a plastic alternative out of mushrooms, and paper alternatives, and bamboo and hemp and other things. And people are doing it, but we have to, what if we just purchased only products that were made of literally biodegradable, safe, non-toxic things? What if we only purchase local, or as much as possible? What if we carpooled? Of course, where are we going now anyway? But will we ever be allowed to go anywhere? I mean, that's their trajectory, whether you know it or not. It's very serious what's going on. And the people that are making decisions, they're not connected to their hearts or their souls or their spirits. Spirit that gives life. Life makes different decisions than, how a body, a being, a human can function and be a terror on this planet to another person or other people. And I'm not talking about the mistakes that any one of us makes throughout our lives. I'm talking about really, really damaged people who are making very, very bad decisions. And you see